Hello, hello. Hopefully we don't have an echo. Welcome to Willis Farms. I am so glad that you're joining me today. Yes, we are busy bees at the farm today. So this one is, if you ordered a party in a box, go to www.willis-farms.llc.com. And we have a lot of offerings available in our party in a box. This is going to be part of our spring collection, We Rise by Lifting Others. And I am going to show you, demonstrate how you put this together. So when you order your kit, you are going to be provided a base that is already painted. This one is painted limestone. So you can specify the colors that you would like. And you will be also provided your stencil stick, your sponges, and also your paint colors. Today I'm going to be using Brook and Little Whale. This is Fusion Mineral Paint. And we're going to, you'll get them in little containers. But since I'm here, I just like to pour it on my plate. I will show you a tip though. If you don't have a plate or a disposable something next to you. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place our stencil. Now, if you look at your stencil, the best thing to do is always to stand up and look at it and to center it. So you're going to just kind of visualize where you're going to want it. So I'm going to want it right there, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your stick and you're going to go up to the top and you're just going to kind of notch it with your thumbnail, okay? And then you're going to look at the bottom and say, okay, how am I for spacing? So if you're particular, you may want to get a ruler or you may just want to eyeball it. But it's just a great way to make sure that you're getting it placed right where you want it. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take all of your frustrations out by just going over it. Now, my transfer tape, this is 3 layers. This is a stencil. My transfer tape is actually multiple layers. So you're going to run your stencil stick over your project. It's going to help those voids adhere to your transfer tape. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to separate our layers. So all the stencils have a paper backing, and all we're going to do is just separate. Sometimes it comes right off, and other times it likes to argue, but that's life. We all sometimes have arguing days. So hypothetically, say any of your voids come up when you're peeling this up, just lay it back down, press on it some more, and then just peel this backing off. Now, my hack is actually use this part for your palette. So we're going to just lay this down, stand up again. And remember when we measured before on our stick and we have our little tick mark? There's my tick mark. So I can go, yep, right where I wanted it. And so as long as you don't press down, you can lift this up as many times as you want. And then as soon as you press down, you are committed to that area. Then you're going to get your stencil stick again, and you're just going to run over it. Now, if you've ordered a party in a box, because I understand I'm a little bit more experienced, so if this is your first time, please pause the video, catch up to me, and then after you are caught up to laying your stencil down, play the video again. So what we're doing is we're just running our stencil stick over our stencil. The tape is still on, and we're just going to make sure that all of our voided areas are very well pressed. So we're just making sure all those areas, what I mean by void is the inserts, okay, are very well pressed. I always like to say, you know, if you had a bad day, this makes it so perfect because you can just put all the pressure of your bad day right there, right there. Okay, so if you need to pause the video again and just catch up, the next step that we're going to do is we're going to remove the stencil tape, okay? No need to worry, but this is where you're going to need a little bit more breathing and attention to detail. Now, just catch up with us and then replay the video. What you're going to do is you're going to peel, and like I said, mine is in multiple layers just because that's what I had on hand. So you're going to pick up your stencil, okay? You're going to pick up your stencil by the side, and don't peel up like this. You're going to peel across. So you're going to be peeling across, and it's kind of like a pulling motion, okay? So you're just going to pull that across. Then you're going to, this extra, just discard it. And then we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to pull across, exact same thing. If you have one of your voids, if they come up with this transfer tape, then just lay it back down, give it a little bit more pressure until your stencil does adhere to your base project, okay? I have one more layer to go. So remember, we're pulling across. We are not peeling up, we're pulling across. So pull across. Okay, now we're to the point where our stencil, that's all we have, and we're going to fill in these voids with our paint. Like I said, a hack is, if you want, just go ahead and put some paint on your paper. I'm going to have my paper right next to me for blotting off, but that's the painting step. So the next thing we're going to do, if you're not with me at this, please pause your video and catch up. So the next, and then push play when you're ready for the next step. Okay, the next step that we're going to do is we're going to take the side of our thumb, okay, the side of our thumb right here. It appears that one of my cameras is paused. We're going to take the side of our thumb right here, and we're going to rub it against every single voided area. Voided area is where our stencil comes into connection with our base, okay? So our stencil comes into connection with our base. And we're just going to rub that over. And this is just going to help that stencil adhere and make sure there are no bubbles or air pockets in there, okay? So you're just going to rub this over. This is a very important step, so make sure that you don't just skip out on this. Very important step. If you need to pause the video, please do so. And then replay. Oh, that's right in your way, isn't it? I'm sorry. And then replay when you're at the next, when you are ready to proceed. Okay, the next step is we're going to fill in our voided areas with our paint. You're going to take your sponge, your flat side of the sponge. These are makeup sponges. And we're just going to dab into our paint, okay? Dabbing into our paint, and then you're going to dab off. Dab in, dab off, okay? You're going to want to make sure you have very little paint on your sponge. Now what we're going to do is up and down motions. You're going to feel that there's very little paint transferring. If you are using the winter colors, which was black and a bayberry green, your project may disappear. If you do not see any of your void through, then you need to go back over that with a clean, don't dab back in, but just go right back over it. Okay, with your sponge like so, and just pull up any of that extra paint. Now there's many different ways that you can do this. You can go from light to dark. You can go every other color. I'm just going to have all of my words one color. Okay, I have an appointment I need to get to. I apologize for that, guys. So we're just going to continue to apply our paint, making sure that you're dabbing up and down, okay? And getting that paint into those voided areas. You're going to make sure that you don't have extra paint. So if you see any pilling of paint up on that, you have too much. So we're just dabbing our paint on. And it literally takes very little paint. Okay, continue to dab that on. And if you're using where you can actually see your voids through, which I will pull this up a little bit more so you can actually see it. If you can see your voids through that, then you know that you have the correct amount of paint on. If you can't see your voids and it's too thick, you're going to need to use your sponge and just pull up some of that. This is our color Brook, which is our spring color line for these Party in a Box. Okay, and then if you want to go over it again, you are welcome to do so. And the next thing that you're going to do is once you feel that you have gone over it enough and you are comfortable with your project, you can pull. You could do a wet pull. With a wet pull, you got to make sure that you are not touching your base though. And this is where you're going to pull up. You're not going to pull across, you're going to pull up. And I do highly suggest that when you're pulling up on this, you have a buddy holding your base down. So partner up with a buddy, have one buddy hold your base down, and then pull up. And then the other, once you're done with yours, you help them pull theirs up, okay? This is one of the most rewarding parts of this process because you finally get to see your design. I like to let my design completely dry before I pull out my voids. And that way I'm not getting any paint everywhere. But there it is, kind of without the voids pulled out. But isn't that beautiful? So, so beautiful. Once it completely dries, you're just going to take your nail, go in there, and pull those voids out, okay? Once it completely dries. And in less than 15 minutes, you have a beautiful piece of artwork that you created all by yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know if you're interested in the Willis Farms Party in a Box. They are located on my website, and we have numerous offerings for them. So let us know, and we'll be changing and adding some spring and summer very, very soon. So thanks again, and I hope you have a wonderful and creative day. Thanks. Bye.